1,000 meters, and I think it was about 5 minutes the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Just try and sort Mike out. Mike.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. In your settings.
You have to join with the video, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I clicked on that, join with video, and it's not done it. I don't know why.
Bottom left-hand corner, Mike, is there a, when you put your cursor over the screen that you're looking at, you've got a mute button and a stop video button, and if it's video's crossed out, you need to click on it again.
Ah, yeah. I've done that. Yeah.
Yeah, something's happened.
Well, it's clear you've
Same
not paid
trouble
your
you had
subscription.
yesterday, Mike. You solved it yesterday.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's not the camera covered up, is it?
No.
Well, that can happen very easily, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, are you wearing a black hood?
Can't understand.
Keep talking to us, Mike, so we know you're there.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening, so don't worry about it.
Go towards the light.
Breathe heavily.
Right. You know when you click on your picture, Mike?
Yeah.
In the top left-hand, right-hand corner, there's like 3 dots. It's a side. If you click on your picture, you should see mute and 3 little dots.
I can't see where I am now.
Oh, it's the light. You've got to turn the light on first.
You might be on page 2. Have you got 2 pages left?
Ah, good point, Keith.
I can sympathise, Mike, after last week.
Anyway, if you can hear,
I can hear, so don't worry, I can hear. Yeah.
All right. So we'll get cracking. Anything? Well, we have got some news of the group, haven't we, John? But it's
Unfortunately, Eric's wife passed away early last week. So Eric is naturally very distraught. They were a very close couple, been together more than 60 years. Well over 60 years, so it's a sad time for the lad. So I've sent him a condolence card on behalf of us.
Well done.
And it is difficult at the moment because I've got to nip round and see him. But anyway, that's this week's bad news. It seems to be all I give is bad news. I hope we can get into some good news later on in the year. I mean, Barry's painting a portrait of his wife. He's had 3 goes now and he's not satisfied. My experience of Barry and his art, his detail is superb. Just on my wall to the side of me is a bee that he painted that I got from him. The detail is beautiful. But for those of you who saw the portrait he did of me collecting an Oscar, which I of course never did, faces aren't his strong point. Perhaps if I'd had the head of a bee, it would have gone down well. Anyway, Barry's been artistic and enjoying himself and making papier-mâché dogs and painting them. So I'm sure we'll all buy one at the end of all this. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
John.
Is Cyril sorted, John?
You what, Dave?
Is Cyril sorted?
He's not sorted yet. He will be. I mean, meant to be doing the work, extensive work on his bungalow in about a couple of weeks' time, Dave. There's a lot to do. And Anita's at a wit's end, but Cyril's not exactly oblivious to it all, but he's sat comfortably in his conservatory painting and he just don't want to move. So I think they're doing a lot of the living in the conservatory area while the work will be going on elsewhere.
Yeah.
Health-wise, they're both okay.
Good.
I spoke to Ed this morning before he came on and he was all right. He sends his best wishes. Can't wait to get out of his rest home prison and have a coffee and cake and a meeting.
How's your conservatory, John? How's your conservatory? The door?
Conservatory, the door, I've had 2 doors replaced. They're both fine. They're great. The next thing is Thursday, the guttering. But the conservatory has virtually been rebuilt since December. A new roof, that was our choice. New doors, that was Gale Force choice, and guttering, similar applies. So we'll have a virtually new conservatory by the weekend.
When
That's
you
good.
say new roof, John, did you have some reinforcement? Because we had to have a lot of strengthening, pillars and what have you to take the weight of a new roof. I'm just wondering if that.
Yeah, but yours would be the size of Buckingham Palace, wouldn't it? I mean, mine's just a small conservatory. No, we didn't have to have any strengthening. It's just like thermal roof. It takes away the glass and puts something else in its place.
Right.
Yeah.
And incidentally, you shouldn't feel sorry about bringing bad news. You wait until LOL gets started. Bloody hell.
Not all bad. Not all bad. Liverpool won last night.
Yeah, well, hey, yeah. We've got a good away record, haven't we? Well, we won't talk about home record.
Yeah, we should wear black armbands, shouldn't we?
Yeah, and that moves us smoothly on to LOL's News of the Week.
News of the week.
News of the week.
News of the
Oh,
week.
it's news of the week.
You're quite right. It's all bad news.
Oh, get off.
As far as I'm concerned, there's only one major headline in the news this week, and that is the sad news that chocolate maker Thornton's had to close all its 61 shops.
You what?
Permanently.
Yeah.
Sad news indeed.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Even
Right.
cafes are going.
So, haven't they?
Uncancelled Easter.
I'll come back to them in a bit.
Evertonians won't be happy.
No, they won't. Right, we'll start with cricket. Now, former England, Warwickshire and Surrey bowler Joey Benjamin has died of a heart attack aged 60. Born in St Kitts, Benjamin made his name in English cricket, taking 387 wickets in an 11-year career. He only played one game for England, and that was against South Africa at the Oval in 1994, where he got 4 wickets in the first innings. But does anybody know what happened in the South African second innings as regards bowling?
Devon Malcolm.
Yep.
Yeah.
What did he do?
You guys
are history.
9 for 57. Yes, you're quite right. Right.
You know why? No, because he was annoyed.
Yeah, that's right. They riled him up.
They riled him up, bounced him and everything else. And he was not a man easily sort of stirred, shall we put it that way. But here he was absolutely raving.
Furious, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what happened.
Your daddy took it neck.
As your mother used to say.
That's Gladstone. You've got the wrong man.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Wrong
It's
guy,
still,
yeah.
it's still fun.
Right, carrying on with cricket.
Yep.
Now, Craig Brathwaite will replace Jason Holder as the West Indian captain. Brathwaite led a second-string West Indian team to a series win in Bangladesh last month, after several players, including Holder, missed the tour due to concerns about the COVID. All-rounder Holder led the side in 37 tests after becoming their youngest ever captain in 2015. Chief West Indies selector Roger Harper said he was delighted that Brathwaite had accepted the offer. A bit more on cricket. Now, the Ahmedabad pitch on which India beat England in 2 days in the third test will not be punished by the International Cricket Council. The pitch has been given an average rating by the match referee, meaning it will not earn any demerit points. An accumulation of demerit points can lead to venues being suspended from hosting international matches.
Dear God.
After consultation with Coley, of course.
Yeah.
It
was an Indian, the third umpire.
All Indian. All of the officials were Indian.
The referee was.
Well, they can't have the best ground in the world shut down, can they?
Should perhaps play them on Mablethorpe Beach.
They have, however, come to their senses and stopped all crowds for the remaining T20.
Have they?
Have they?
Yeah, there's a massive. There's been a huge.
Chris, you're reading my notes again.
There's a huge spike in the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not
Funny
unsurprisingly.
old thing. Funny
Well,
old
I
thing.
wonder why.
And we don't think we'll get a spike after all these ladies have been congregating. You know, every time there's a get together. Cheltenham this week, you know, it was 12 months ago that started this pandemic. You know, people don't get it.
No.
They don't get it.
Not to mention Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid.
Absolutely, that should have been cancelled anyway, particularly with the result that we got from.
Null and void.
Yeah.
Peter, it's great to have you on board, mate. You know, I've been in social isolation for the last 12 months.
But you talk about the umpires and that. What about the stumping that they didn't give out?
Yeah, ridiculous.
The commentator says, "Well, it's Coley, so what do you think will happen?"
They're trying to qualify the people who are running that for VAR judges.
They're overqualified, aren't they?
Yeah, they'd be too good.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Well, Chris has stolen my thunder for my next little item.
Good.
England's remaining 3 2020 games against India will be played behind closed doors because of the rise in the state of Gujarat of the virus. Crowds of over 66,000 and 67,000 attended the 2 games on Friday and Sunday, respectively. But players did not come into contact with spectators, and the ball was sanitised every time it was hit into the stands. With the series level at 1 game each, the 3rd game goes on today.
That's interesting. I wonder if repeated use of the sanitizer, a serious question, would affect the ball in any way, the flight of the ball or the way it behaves.
They say not. They say not.
But I bet it affected the pink ball in previous matches.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, I think it was James Anderson when he was bowling. Every time they used to sort of put a bit of saliva on the ball, didn't they?
Yeah.
What I noticed was every time in between balls, he always wiped his hair. And I mean, I can't imitate it, but wipe his hair. So no doubt he's got some yellow or something on his.
English players don't recourse to that sort of behaviour.
Of course they don't. It's a bit like the Olympics in Russia when their their javelin thrower was about to throw, and they opened the big gates at the end to get the draft going through. Remember that?
Chris, have you ever thought of standing for Parliament?
I don't think I'm politically correct enough anymore.
Right.
A little bit on tennis. Now, Novak Djokovic says it has taken a lot of blood, sweat and tears to break Roger Federer's record of 310 weeks ranked as #1 in the world. The 33-year-old Serb set the record last Monday for the most weeks at #1 in the 48-year history of the ATP rankings. Now, talking about Roger Federer, he says he never seriously considered retirement in his 14 months away from tennis through injury. Making his comeback at the Qatar Open last week, the 20-time champion said, "I know it's rare for almost a 40-year-old to come back after a year out injured, but what's important is I'm injury-free and I'm pain-free." Now, a little bit on cycling. Now, female cyclists feel undervalued and that their achievements are less worthy because of the huge disparity in prize money in road racing, says Lizzie Banks. But she believes female cyclists are a bit scared to make a stand. The differential was once again highlighted at an event in Belgium in February, where men's champion David Ballerini won €16,000, but the Olympic and World Roast champion Anna van der Breggen won just €930 for winning the women's race.
Oh, what?
It's ridiculous.
That's ludicrous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Needs at least 1,000. Needs a protest.
Yep.
Yeah.
A bit more on cycling.
Another protest. Spread the virus.
Protest.
Yeah.
Now, the ex-British Cycling and Team Sky chief doctor, Richard Freeman, has been found guilty of ordering banned testosterone in 2011, knowing or believing it was to help dope an unnamed rider. A medical tribunal ruled Freeman ordered Testogel with the knowledge it was to be administered to an athlete to improve their athletic performance. It added that Freeman's actions were incapable of innocent explanation. British Cycling have said the finding was extremely disturbing.
Who's the rider then, guys?
Well, there's rumours that it was Wiggins, but I'm not saying nothing.
Sorry, I missed that bit.
Wiggins
Rob.
is calling for another. Wiggins is calling for another investigation, isn't he? Or
That's
review?
correct. But I've heard whispers that it could be for him on him, but I don't. I'm not. That's what I've heard.
Well, you're close to Sky, so we have to take what you say, you know.
Well, we'll go on to Formula One then. Now, Ferrari have unveiled the car they hope will revive their fortunes after having their worst season in 40 years last year. Team boss Matteo Binotto said the revised car was more efficient and the new engine more powerful after straight line speed proved their biggest weakness last year. Ferrari have concentrated on the rear of the car in search of performance. Binotto said, last year was a big disappointment. We know we cannot repeat such a bad result. And Fernando Alonso, he will have 2 metal plates in his jaw for the duration of this season after breaking it in a cycling accident last month. The 2-time champion, who drove a Formula One car last Saturday for the first time since the injury, said he will have to have 2 titanium plates removed from his upper jaw at the end of the season. Finally, on Formula One, legendary Formula One commentator Murray Walker has died at the age of 97. Walker commentated on his first Grand Prix for the BBC at Silverstone in 1949 and became a full-time commentator in 1978. He became well known as the voice of Formula One, first with the BBC, then ITV, before retiring 20 years ago. Now, he was well known for his style of commentating and interviewing. Now, here's an example of one of his interviews. And he was talking to a well-dressed gentleman at a race meeting. And he says, it's some 17 years since you bought McLaren. You've had some good times and you've had some bad times. What do you remember best? The reply, I don't remember buying McLaren. That's a true story.
Do you remember when he poked Nigel Mansell's on his head?
That must hurt.
The local news here in Oxford did a fabulous tribute to him. One of the newscasters knew him very well. And what came across, for all the noise he generated and the enthusiasm when he was commentating, he was actually a very quiet man. He did a lot of talks, and he interspersed his various sessions of talks with videos and what have you of his commentating. And he told the cameraman, you better turn the volume down now because it will blast you out. You know, because he's a quiet man, normally.
I came up with the advertising slogan, Opal fruits made to make your mouth water.
Oh, yeah, didn't it? Well, remember it.
He also came up with go to work on an egg.
Yeah.
Advertising before he went into
Formula
One. Classics there.
Yeah. Clive James described him as commentating like a man with his trousers on fire. Which I thought was about right.
I like that.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Right, Long.
Bit on rugby. Now, New Zealand great Sonny Bill Williams has confirmed his retirement from both rugby codes and said he was looking to restart his boxing career. The 35-year-old won World Cups with the All Blacks in 2011 and 2015 and he helped the Kiwis reach the 2013 final of the rugby league equivalent. Williams fitted in 7 fights between 2009 and 2015, winning each contest. Williams said he was keen to get back into the ring for the next couple of years.
Rugby obviously wasn't violent enough for him.
No.
As many fights as he could.
Already got a lot of practice playing it.
Yeah.
How will it tell the difference?
He did get sent off, didn't he, not long ago?
Yeah.
A little bit on rugby union. England beat France in a battling performance at Twickenham in the Six Nations tournament. Losing 17-13 at half-time, England battled back to win with a try by Mano Itoje a couple of minutes before full-time. The try was not given by the on-field referee and was finally awarded after what seemed an eternity of watching video replays from all different angles to see if Itoje had actually touched down. This prevented France winning the Grand Slam.
But old Joy Neville.
The French
said it was the height of the commentator said it was the height of the grass that gave the try.
He actually, the French referee this time had a very good, I think his name's Quat. The one with was just a Pratt. But this guy, he was really good.
Yeah.
I wonder if the other one has actually been
goes there, should never be put in charge of a big game again, should he?
What a way to be remembered.
When you saw the try from the behind the goal, it was obvious that he'd actually touched it down first.
Yeah.
Point to the ball.
You see, that's where DRS, VAR, it works in rugby, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder that how they reach a decision, because for life of me, sometimes I just can't see the ball. There's that many people around it. And, you know.
Well, it was a young lady that was doing the.
Joy Neville.
Yeah.
She's a very good referee.
Spot on, absolutely.
Very good referee. I've seen her doing England rugby, and she's spot on.
Isn't there talk, Peter, of her actually refereeing a man's international?
I think there is, yeah.
But I mean, you talk about the difference between that and VAR. I mean, VAR is just getting it wrong time after time after time. There was another major incident this last weekend, weren't there?
The Arsenal game.
It's not VAR. It's people who are looking at
the people who are
exactly.
Yeah. But
6 inches between your ears. Peter Ellis always said it's not the 400 yards ahead of you, it's the 6 inches between your ears that matters, and it's the same.
Go on then, Lol.
A little bit of athletics. Now, the Chinese Olympic Committee has offered COVID vaccine jabs for all the competing athletes at the Summer Games and at the 2022 Winter Games in Beijing. The news was given by the International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach, who last Wednesday reiterated that the delayed Tokyo 2020 tournament will start on the 23rd of July. He added that the IOC will pay for all these additional doses of vaccine for all Olympic and Paralympic teams taking part.
And
Did he get a cuddly bat?
Athletes getting done for dope tests.
I'm afraid I wouldn't. If I was an athlete, I wouldn't trust a Chinese injection.
He said he normally have a mascot, so is it a bat this time?
Right, go on. Right, a little bit on golf. Now, Rory McIlroy says that trying to copy Bryson DeChambeau's big hitting has been detrimental to his own game. The four-time major winner failed to defend his Players' Championship title as he missed the cut last Friday after finishing 10 over par. The Northern Irishman has tried to add speed to his swing in order to hit the ball further at the event at Sawgrass in Florida. Now, going to that event, Lee Westwood finished runner-up for a second successive week in the Players' Championship when he lost by 1 stroke to Justin Thomas at Sawgrass. Once again, Westwood led the field going into the 4th and final round, but he was pegged back after a wobble on the front 9. Afterwards, Westwood said, "I hate to say it, but my age is catching up with me."
Oh, God forbid. A long way
He's
to
still
go.
coining money in, though, isn't he? Yeah.
All he's doing is walking around the park and hitting the ball with a piece of wood.
Spoiling a good walk. Yeah.
No, it's not a piece of wood. It's all metal these days.
Oh,
And about the
Carbon fibre.
speeding up the swing, I'm not surprised in a way because I think it's rhythm that you're trying to get into your swing and timing. And I
Timing, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with cricket, football, tennis, anything like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'd got plenty of rhythm into his swing.
Who did?
Glenn Miller.
Joe Loss.
Showing your age, Jim.
I opened the gate and walked straight through it, yeah.
A little bit on boxing. The former undisputed middleweight world champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, has passed away at the age of 66. The American dominated the middleweight division from 1979 until he was controversially beaten by Sugar Ray Leonard in April 1987 on a split decision. He won 62 out of 67 of his fights in his 14-year professional career with 52 knockouts.
I didn't know he'd made his name Marvelous Marvin Hagler by law because people weren't using the Marvelous. So he added it by law.
So changed his name, yeah.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, I think his middle name was.
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Right then, we'll finish off with football.
Oh.
Don't
Slow it
worry,
down,
Have to.
Rob, going too fast.
I'm not going that far. The former Sheffield United captain, Robert Page, is to continue deputising for Wales manager Ryan Giggs and will be in charge against Belgium and the Czech Republic in the qualifying games for the 22 World Cup, as well as a friendly against Mexico later on this month. Giggs has agreed to step out of the limelight of football while on bail after allegations of assault on his girlfriend last November. Now, Brazil's iconic Maracanã Stadium is to be renamed in honour of the country's legendary footballer Pelé. The move follows a vote by the Rio de Janeiro state legislature to change the venue's name to the Edson Arantes do Nascimento Rei Pelé Stadium.
It's off the tongue.
Edson Arantes do Nascimento is the 80-year-old's full name, while Rei means king in Portuguese. Rio's state governor must approve the name change before it becomes official. Now, last Sunday, a hat-trick by Cristiano Ronaldo for Juventus was in the first 32 minutes on Sunday, was the second fastest of his career. This took his tally of goals in official matches to 770, 3 clear of Pelé's tally of 767 to make it a new world record.
No.
There he
Now,
goes.
this has been disputed by the Czech FA, who said that Josef Bican has got 821 goals, but when it's been delved into, they've added reserves and amateur games in that total. Now, a little bit about Ronaldo.
What about one at school playground?
Please not.
He scored a total of 56 hat-tricks in his career so far, but his fastest hat-trick was 6 years ago when he scored in the first 20 minutes. His 3 goals came against Espanyol. He's got 132 million followers on Facebook, a few more than you, Keith, a net worth of £362.5 million. So, all for kicking a ball about.
I've got 3 followers on Facebook. Honest with you.
Just a few weeks ago, Messi had supposedly beaten Pele's total. So has now Ronaldo now beaten Messi's?
Well, that's
Who
what's
knows?
been on the news.
Who knows?
Why are you repeating the news, John?
Isn't there
There'll be
talk
lots
of Ronaldo being transferred back to Real Madrid?
That's correct. That's on the cards.
And
That'd be amazing.
the thing I saw about Messi this week was that he's beaten Xavi's appearance record for Barcelona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's either beaten it or equal.
Yeah. It's at the weekend.
Equal.
That was a great combination. That Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barcelona were really good.
Motoring, yeah.
Right. Charlton Athletic manager Lee Boyer has resigned after nearly 3 years in charge at the League One club. Former Addicks midfielder Boyer was initially put in caretaker charge in March 2018 before getting the job on a full-time basis 6 months later. He departs with more than 2 years left on his 5-year contract. Now, Aitor Karanka has lost his job as manager of Birmingham City after a poor run of results, leaves the Blues languishing just above the relegation zone. Karanka, who joined the Championship club on a 3-year contract last July, looks set to be replaced by Lee Boyer. So there's something going off there.
Well,
What is the point of contracts? 5-year contract and he's sacked after a year, you know. I mean, just they mean nothing, do they?
No.
No. I
You
mean,
have to pay them up though.
Yeah, they do. They mean that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's. That's what it's. That's what it's.
I don't
all
have
about.
too much sympathy for them.
and do you know which club Chris Wilder was going to sign for as manager just before he took over at the Blades?
You know, Sunderland.
One of the London clubs, was it not?
Charlton
Sunderland.
Athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you never know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you going to
Finally.
talk about the Blades, Zol, or are you leaving it to the break?
Well,
We've got.
Chris knows how I feel about this, so I'm not going to say much on it. But
Good.
what I
No.
will say, it's the first time that a prince has sacked a king, as far as I know. And my only hope is they don't go down the same road that Chancery has taken Wednesday.
There's no need to get nasty. You see, you edit the news, lol, unfairly, and then you get nasty. I was prepared to sit back and respect your grief, but then you have to go and get nasty. What a typical
When's he
moron.
going to be, John? When's he going to be in trouble when this new manager bounce wears off?
Don't know how you Unitedite not to slag us off. We're absolutely crap. But you're a disgrace to the Premiership. So just leave it.
It's the only comfort we've got, John, but we came to terms with it many weeks ago.
Shows how bad you are. You start getting nasty about it.
And let's not forget, as much as I admire what Chris Wilder has done for Sheffield United, he's done an amazing job. But 25 defeats in 31 games, who would have survived that long?
Somebody who's done what Wilder has done for you in the previous 4 years, who deserves some respect.
Correct.
Yeah.
No respect paid to him whatsoever by the current
None at all.
disgrace.
Would Delia Smith have said
I don't
it,
think he
or
got any.
get relegated and come back up and make a load of money?
Well,
I don't think it's got anything to do with the on-field performances. I think it's more to do with behind the scenes.
What he said.
United World.
I mean, they were effectively demoting him, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were effectively demoting him by supposedly going to appoint a director of football and just make him first team coach.
It's a shame we can't get down there because I feel as though here and at Wednesday
that old tune "Sack the Board" would be being sung quite a bit.
Yeah. I was listening to 5 Live last night, discussion between Mark Chapman, Michael Richards, and Chris Sutton, and they between them thought United could go into free fall and go straight through to League One.
Yeah.
Anybody
League
hear
Two
that?
playing.
Wednesday could go into free fall and into League Two.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday.
Yeah, you've only got to look at Bolton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with that cheery thought, we could have a tea break, can't we, Keith?
Got less than 1 minute, so I take it that's the end of your news, Lol. And we'll see you in 5 minutes. So, have a cup of tea.
One question. What's Facebook?